this meeting to order. First order of business is to consent to approve the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Second.
All right, motion passed, motion carried. That's my call.
I like it.
He likes it. Oh, what's that? All right, are there any written communications from the public?
No, sir.
Publics.
No, sir.
Publics have no written communications. All right, old business. Capital needs. So is this the?
Yeah, essentially it's the furniture that that we've been talking about in the millwork and et cetera. We should have last month, was it last month? We had Tiffany came for the board meeting that we couldn't hold because we didn't have quorum, but she showed us all her wares and everything, and we'll bring before we spend the money, we will bring that all to you guys for a final approval. You guys have approved the budget already last year, and I will also. I'm going to bring you. I have it here. No, I don't have this. I'm going to bring you guys next month what the city has assessed as the capital needs for this building for their long-term plans to replace things.
Now we kind of code.
Well, they own the building.
They just
They're paying
full
for
on.
Yeah.
They're paying for it. So it's just, I just want to make you guys aware that it's going to, chillers are going to be replaced, roof.
So they're infrastructure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're going to do some work on the parking lot and seal up some things. And there's some long-term talk of some solar panels also.
Okay. Not cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even like a solar canopy out there, like over the.
Mr.
Parking
Electrician, you
spots.
must love that.
Yeah. Because I was always wondering, because you would think, especially with Illinois being so lead conscious, right? That all of the government buildings were primarily powered through solar, some form. Well, not solar, but not solar, but not wind power. But they would have been at that, especially with the amount of money the states government's giving for solar. You would have thought they would have had this whole roof covered.
But
with
you got
solar
I
top.
turned off.
You've got a deputy city manager who's a strong proponent of it, so it's the plans are in progress from what I understand.
All right. Under the other, I don't remember. I'm just kind of following back on the murals. I think I keep kind of getting like intermittent feedback on murals.
So we were talking about an outside mural, and I'm not sure how you guys want me to proceed on that, to be honest with you.
Well, as long as it's a nice portrait of Sophia and Samantha for their hard work and years of,
We talked to the Arts Council. They said probably looking at, if you're talking about a big mural over on that kind of dead area of the southern end of the building, probably you could be looking at up to 10 grand. So I don't recall. I have to look at my notes. I don't recall if we specifically budgeted for it, but we shouldn't. I know that's something that our board president feels pretty strongly about. Beautifying the outside of the building, the property too, so let's keep it on the radar.
Okay. All right, any other comments on old business? All right, moving right along, Mr. Meyer, you want to take it away on
This is the
the
shortest check registry I've ever seen.
Hey, there's an answer to that. It's requisitions not getting approved in a timely manner.
I was like, what
lean
the?
over here. This is lean.
Yeah, the February I anticipate will be much larger. You're
Which
right.
is hilarious because February is so much of a shorter month.
Yes, but it will be there will be some catching
So
up.
we actually have to watch February, like this one you don't even know.
So now are we on some kind of like pay 30, pay 45 situation with how we pay out? Or just kind of pay as
It kind of depends on the vendor.
Awesome.
There is a statute, that, you know, government bodies in Illinois, you know, have to pay in a timely manner, and I don't know all the ins and outs of the, but it depends on the vendor. Like, we have some vendors where there's a quick turnaround,
Okay.
or there's a, you know, and we pay those with ACH
I
payments.
see what you're saying.
But typically it's if somebody asks me, you know, if we negotiate something, I ask for a net 30.
Okay, nice, okay. All right, so now with the security, are we paying that monthly? Is that how that works?
It is monthly, and that's actually one of our new business items also.
So that it shifted to where we're paying monthly now?
Yes.
Instead
Well,
of
we
just-
have been paying monthly for a while, but there's some stuff I want to discuss with you guys in
Sure.
new business on that.
All right, anyone else?
I make a motion to accept the check register.
Yeah, I will second.
All right, so is this one of the ones we got?
Yeah.
That's me.
Today?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so, I see the save action. So Sophia,
Yes.
Emily, yes.
Emily, I almost said Chrissy, but it's fine.
Chris, that's a new one.
It just kind of came in my, I knew it was
I get Lisa.
I know it was an E,
For
something.
more than one person?
So Emily,
Yes.
let me put this over here. And myself, I, so the ayes have it. Check register accepted. Okay, forwarding on to the budget actuals for January.
I also put
This is the final.
I got the final December. That's the first thing you see is, because last month I told you there would be some adjustments. I want to point to what you'll see some changes from remember, Sophia and Jacoby will probably recall, when we get to the cash balance last year, I told you guys I've been off for a while
Yeah.
and I had to adjust something.
Okay,
Well, I found out what happened. It was the auditor.
Ooh.
The auditor changed that number,
Dun, dun,
and
dun.
no one said, "Hey, Rick,
Right,
your new cash balance is this." So I thought I made a mistake.
right.
It was the auditor who changed it. So we did get and the audit took forever this year, apparently, because we had new CFO. I guess that maybe had something to do with it. But those numbers are. Yeah, you'll see the cash balances will change from between December and
I see, yeah,
January.
you can see,
Yes.
yeah.
So, the December budget is, I told you it wouldn't change much, and it didn't, from what I showed you guys, last month, but there were some revenue side things that were small that, we didn't have yet, but other than that, so, I don't think I was showing the interest, in investment income yet last month, but I've got it on here now. So this also informs item under new business item D that we'll get to.
Okay.
But as far as January goes, that's the next one in your packet. It's pretty weird, and that is because some requisitions didn't get finished in a timely fashion. What I mean by that is if you look at library materials, like the third item down, you see we spent $85.29 all
Yeah.
month. That's a lot less than we normally spend in a month. So that's going to be a lot bigger in February.
Okay.
That's the biggest anomaly. And the other anomaly I
Are
want
you
to,
saying the library spends more than $85.29?
yes, on books, yeah, per month.
That's the post, that's the stamp cost.
Yeah,
It's not
so
even the stamp.
we just had some issues with the software, and we've got it, it's all resolved now, so all the invoices have been processed, and we're in good shape, but expect a much bigger number on those lines
So did we get a new software, or it was just like a software glitch or something like that, just a little
No, it's just, it's,
update or something?
they did an update late last year,
Okay.
and it's, you know, it all boils down to user error in this
Yes.
case. So I also want to point out, and again, this is called foreshadowing, whereas, so under professional services on the first page there, you'll see, under security, the, year-to-date, after 1 month, is $4,243.50, which is about twice what it normally is. We will get to that. Cash position, you'll see that those cash balances, a couple of them at least, and maybe one of them has changed a little bit. I also want to talk something through with you guys. So remember, you changed, you moved to $200,000 to the capital fund. That was it hadn't been done yet when we met last month. It has been done now. You also passed a resolution to move the unexpended funds from last year into the capital reserve fund. That did not happen. It can happen. It will happen later in the year, or we don't even have to do that. And here's what I want to explain to you. So, always been mysterious to me. If you look at, on the third page of this document, our operating cash. So the operating fund, our balance as of February 1 was $1,668,909.06. I'm going to just for a second refer back to last year. That balance, our operating fund balance, never dipped below $519,882. That's money that is doing nothing for the library.
That
So,
500,
exactly.
the extra money left over throughout the.
Well, that's just cash in our operating fund that is going to keep growing, from year to year. That's the cash to pay our bills.
Right.
That's what we pay our bills out of. So we have to have something. We have to have enough money in there all the time, but we don't need that much money in there. So we can, when it's time to pay for the furniture project, we can dip into that fund.
So my question is that number the accumulation of just having extra funds every year?
Correct. That's
So
absolutely
this is,
correct.
so what is this kind of the net of over a 10-year span?
When I got here, we ran out of money in March.
Okay.
So
You
it's
got
about
here, it's a
March
mess.
it's about a 10-year span. Yes,
So-
All
sir.
you heard on the news all the time was how bad the library was, they were reporting it everywhere, and
Right.
now that we're doing awesome, they don't say anything.
Well, I mean, they always, that's just,
But you're right. It took us about 10 years to build this up, and now it's built up to a point where we can actually dip into it for the special project.
well, the reason why I asked is just to kind of see either where we over forecasting the budget that it would cost, or we just rolling over. It's just an accumulation of rollover.
That's
And
what
so
it
I
is.
think what
That's
you're
it
saying
is. Yep.
we're at a point now where we can appropriate those funds elsewhere.
Well, and apparently we have been for a long time, but it was never explained to me by the former TFO
That you
of the city that we could use that money. So that $145,000 that was left over from last year, that's where it is.
Okay.
Okay, so we could either vote later in the year to move it to the capital fund, or we can just spend it. So,
So that way we don't have to spend out of the capital fund.
Yeah, but what do we do about the extra 500 something dollars that we just kind of carried over? Because you say, we've averaged, on
that's
average, about 550 something to that degree.
and that's gonna be something we'll have to talk about over the next few months. But
So-
I know we do have some that we wanna spend.
Now, is that the 550 plus the 140? Or is that
No.
just,
Well,
well,
right now, that balance is $1,668,909.
Right.
That's what that balance is today. But last year, we never dropped below 5.
and that's what I'm asking, so I'm saying, so what is our forecasted budget for you?
And last year it was more than 100,000 less than it is at this point.
So I'm saying, what is your forecast, what is our average annual spend? That's.
We should actually, if all goes well, and there's another thing I want to talk to you guys about that's different on this budget from the budget you approved. That is, our levy went up, the city added $100,000 to it. So that's $100,000 additional. So it should be, we should be roughly by year's end, if all goes well, putting another $100,000 into that. Either into that fund or a capital reserve fund, it's your choice.
But like I said, my question is, what do we on average spend per year? Like total?
Well, it's right there in the budget.
Yeah, it's about, it's, you know.
No, not really, I mean, that's just carryover money, I'm saying, that doesn't say.
Well,
Is it saying our total expenses for the year is gonna be
Our total expenses.
$284,964.15?
no,
Our total
$4,739,714 is our total expenses.
Okay, and so,
Right there.
what, I see it, yeah. But so what do we have right now?
What's in the account?
Our cash balance is $1,668,999.
That's what I'm saying, so
And
that looks
we start getting
more
money.
than, that's less than what we have for our budget, or what we're forecasting our expenditure.
Because we get more money throughout the
Yeah,
year.
but we'll get more revenues. So what we'll
We get money
end up,
starting in
if everything goes according to our budgeted plan, that operating cash fund this year shouldn't dip below $619,000-ish. Well, no, our net gain next year, over the course of the year, should be about $100,000, if you don't spend anything out of it, which I'm recommending that you do.
Well, I think we have to, because we're definitely making improvements, and we levied that money from our citizens to use it, and we have definitely needs. I mean, our furniture is horrible, and the bookshelves are
Right.
amazing.
And we budgeted for that,
Yeah,
but that's where, this
You're
is.
saying we don't need to necessarily move it to a different fund, we can just
Correct.
spend it straight out of this fund.
Correct.
which is fine.
Yeah, and we're also, just so you know, for that, we'll be sending off a grant application tomorrow for $125,000 more to put towards that fund. I think we've got a good grant, I think we've got a good chance of winning it. They extended the due date, which is a good sign that people aren't applying for the grant.
Well, that's good.
And the feedback I've gotten from people at the state is that is exactly the case. So, anyway, sorry, Carl's. He said it would be here, so. Anyway, there's $100,000 more in revenue than we planned on. And we had a really tight budget plan, but that $100,000 gives us some breathing room. And again, if everything goes according to the budgeted plan, that we should net $100,000 more into the operating fund next year, unless you guys want to put it in the capital fund. But it's a good thing. I mean, for years I've been trying to say, why don't we put it all in the capital reserve fund? Well, we can't. Reserve funds have to be earmarked for something by law. We're a public body, and it's going to be hard to continue to justify operating cash that's way in excess of what we need.
Yes.
All right. So, but we will have to do a budget amendment mid-year if we do that, which I'm told shouldn't be any trouble by the city. So.
All right. Anybody else have any questions on the action?
No.
All right, moving on, proposals from today's business solutions.
I hope you guys had a chance to take a look at this. This is basically an entire suite of software systems that help us do the things we do better than we're currently doing it. In some cases, a lot better.
This is like the print from home thing that we've kind of been talking about.
That's part of it, yeah,
Okay.
that's part of it. And it's print management, it's mobile printing, it's a payment kiosk that will accept cash or credit, and as low as a nickel from which is really good, because if somebody wants to print one sheet and they don't have any cash with them, but they've got a debit card, that'll be useful. It is our computer management system, so for our public access computers, we have a management system for those, a time management system for them. We currently have one that is giving us fits, and it's kind of, the quality has gone downhill quite a bit. We've got point of sale cash registers in here. We have a cash register system that is ancient, and I want to say this in the right way. It would be easily, not saying I even slightly suspect anybody of wrongdoing, but you sure could with this one, if you wanted to.
Right.
You couldn't with what we're looking at. So it's got scanning solutions, which are, you can scan, fax, and print from a kiosk that is like, it's like a big iPhone, and it's touch screen. Anyway, I've talked to these folks for years, and I finally said, let's come do a demo, because our staff, we go to shows, and our staff loves it. We came to do a demo here, so frontline staff could see it. They thought it was kind of like magic.
So what is this for the
What's the print?
Travel Express Airfare Hotel?
They come and train us. They come
Oh,
they
that's
come
for
train
them
and
to
train
come
us
to
on the
us.
system, yes, yeah. So print from home would be if you wanna print something, Sophia, you could print to the library
And just
and
come
then
pick it
just
up.
come pick it up, pay on site, and go
Oh,
home.
okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like, I'm like, why would I want to, I have a printer. No, I thought you meant sending it to my printer.
But if you didn't, you
Yeah.
could print at the library. So
No, that's
so
awesome.
the total cost for this year feels kind of high, it's $28,000, but the ongoing cost is $3,967.
$3,967.
And we're already paying roughly $2,500 a year. This is, we think, a better system. And anyway.
So what more are we getting with this versus the old system, other than, is it just mainly the creative, the diversity of what all you can do and arrange?
The scanning stuff is new. The diversity of your ability to pay, of the ways to pay.
Okay.
The modernized point of sale cash registers, and the cloud printing. We have a cloud printing system right now, but this one is much better. We think it's a much better solution for our patrons. We think it's going to make the staff's job a lot easier. It is an investment this year, but the ongoing cost isn't much more than what we're already paying.
Right.
So,
Okay, so I make a motion to,
I'll make a motion.
there you go.
I'll make a motion to approve the proposal from Today's Business Solution and bring it to the board.
I will second it.
All right, Sophia.
Yes.
Emily.
Yes.
Toby, yes. Motion approved, motion carried. All right, let's move, trustees annual report.
so this is the report from you guys to the city, and it's essentially those. It really gets approved at the annual meeting, but I always like to get it run by the finance committee first. It's basically what you saw in that December report, but it also has some, at the end of the report, it has some statistics on circulation and holdings, what we have in the library.
So now, even though this is something you want to say you want us, I see it as an action. Are we going to approve this report out?
I think it's helpful if you guys approved it, recommend it to the full board, and that way that any discussion can be had in committee rather than at the annual meeting.
Okay. All right. So this is pretty much just a synopsis of what all we've been through over the year: cash positions, payouts, pay-ins.
Yes, sir. A little more detailed than I normally provide to the board.
service recognition, what is that, awards, employee of the year, months?
Service recognition is a longevity pay, essentially. It's a longevity bonus.
Nah, I need to be working.
Okay.
All right, pretty penny on postage.
Oh, it used to be 15,000 a year. Yeah, we used to send out, anytime you had a book on hold, we'd send you a postcard. Yeah, you know, we would, if something was overdue, we'd send you a postcard. We've cut out all that stuff in the last 5 years.
So, I mean, I don't want to sidetrack too much to be on for the sake of sidetrack, but how close are we from the digital transformation era where we're away from using cards or any kind of paper for just cataloging inside the library? Other than the only paper you had were just books.
Well, one of the things that we're working on a way to get rid of paper registrations.
Right.
I think that's soon, but this is just my personal opinion. I don't think paper's going away. I mean, I've been hearing since the late 80s, we're all going to be working in paperless offices in the next few years, and I've never seen it come close to fruition. You know, we don't have card catalogs. We don't have, and like I said, we're working to get rid of paper registrations, and we do as much as we can electronic, but we still generate reams and reams of paper.
Right.
That's just my personal opinion.
What's transfer to general fund administration fees?
That is the cost that the city allocates us for keeping our books, writing checks for us, doing our payroll.
Okay.
So can we make a suggestion for board iPads to kind of cut down on some of this paper that we,
You get it electronic.
like little kiosks, you know what I mean? You would think with the new, so my thing is, my suggestion, with the new conference table, would it be hard
I don't think it's a bad
for
idea.
a 12-seater with little kiosk, little computer, little flip up, or just like little,
You ain't got a computer?
I do, but I mean, I'm okay with it, but you gotta look at everybody having a computer. I'll bring my iPad, I don't mind.
I would much rather have a paper.
Yeah.
Me too.
But I'm old, and,
Me too.
But I'm old.
but
Hey,
I'm almost
I
there.
know Michelle
Citizens.
would make Michelle very happy if she didn't have to, print
well,
out
I mean, I'm
paper.
just thinking of ease, right? You going through, you got a computer pen, you just kind of slide through, highlight as you need, click, you know. I mean, that, yeah. but-
I mean, it exists, we're just not taking advantage of it.
So okay, I mean, if Rick wants to stand up and kind of finger slide through there and swipe his hand on, wave at it, touch on it, you know, that's fine.
You know who did it right? Milliken did it right with it when all their rooms are equipped with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. I mean, that's just kind of where it's at. I mean, it'll come up.
I mean, they spent a lot of money on it. and,
Kiosk there, it's got a little center camera, that's 360 camera panel.
Matt's looking at that. The only thing he can find for that is it doesn't record. It's for like Zoom meetings. It will turn and go to the speaker and everything. So we're hoping to get better cameras in here for sure.
Yeah, I don't think I look good enough on my camera, so.
We have one at work that when you talk, it zooms in on your feet.
That's good, I like that.
Found that one out after mini meetings.
Black
Someone
people will be
finally
very
said
interested
something.
in that camera.
Yeah,
Nice.
someone finally said, we kept doing interviews. Someone finally said something, I can only see your
But
feet.
if you really, if you want me to explore that.
No, I mean, I just thought, because I mean, in my company, ADM, semi-company, but ADM, we're always focused on digital transformation. And so with everything becoming Al Gore-ish, you know, I mean, it's more of a, just, you know, it's more of a, I guess, maybe 5-year plan-ish type of situation to look at. I mean, we're going to be replacing the conference table, chairs, possibly. I mean, why not see, at least explore what it would be to kind of tech it up a little bit?
I can talk to her. I mean, we kind of got it all specced out already, but I can talk to her and see if she can.
Just to see
See what's available.
what modern boardrooms look like. You know, I'm not asking to give us headsets that translate languages and whatnot.
I
That'd be
want one.
fun.
No, it would, yeah.
I'm on board for that.
Yeah. Have you seen the AI pen, where you just kind of stick it over here, so. So, I'm gonna get this like second. It's cool.
What does it do?
It's an AI pen, like it translates for you, talks to you, you can sit there, hold your hand out, or it has messages on your hand, you sit there and scroll through, slide through, just hold your hand, like you see it, talk to it.
Sounds like it's really not where people would actually use this for facts.
That's true too. You can go to any country and just start speaking to somebody, and it'll sense that they speak a different language, and it'll translate for you, and then it'll translate it back to you, or whatever it is.
Get on that.
Yeah, for me.
So I make a motion to approve the trustees' annual report and consent to the full board.
I will second.
All right, Sophia.
Yes.
Emily.
Yes.
And Jacoby, aye. Motion approved. Motion carried. All right, now, the donation of the furniture minus this chair.
Yeah, I don't really, I put this as an action item just in case you
You like
guys
the chair?
are ready to rock on it, but I don't expect any action on it today, but, you know, I wanted to give you the option if you want.
So how many do we have?
We got the mid-century furniture appraised by Ed Walker. And his fair market value appraisal is less than I thought it would be, to be honest with you. He believes that the fair market value of the mid-century furniture, and that is, I'll show you the pictures here. I don't have an electronic version yet. I'll get it as soon as he gets his check. But well, you see the one Jacoby's sitting in. That's a stool actually. It's not these chairs.
Is it one of those over there?
That stool, yeah, I think so, is one of them. These chairs,
For 7,000 for that one chair?
250 a piece, and so we've got 28 of them, so,
So we have all these things off the floor at this point, we're
No,
thinking about selling
no.
them?
well, but bear with me, I just want to show you what it is first, and give you the value, the estimated value. All these Eames chairs, most of the stuff is by Eames, who is now a collectible designer. So, and here's the thing about collectible. A year from now, it may be out of fashion, you know. But as we're trying to get more funding for our replacement furniture, I thought it might be worth, there's a lot of rules about what you guys can do, what we can do as a library to dispose of our property, because it's taxpayer property. But one thing you can do is donate them to a nonprofit. We've got a nonprofit called the Decatur Public Library Foundation, who raises money just for the library. If you would consider donating to them with the stipulation that they would immediately, hey Carl,
Huzzah!
that they would immediately sell, and that any proceeds would have to go to back to the furniture project. I just thought it would be something to consider. Now, I don't recommend that you donate all of it. I think we should keep some of it as a part of our history.
So when you say part of history, what would you just kind of glass it off and section it off a little bit?
That's a good question. But I know that there's a lot of, well, I don't know. There's definitely some feeling amongst our public and some staff that, you know, we should never get rid of that stuff. Because some of that stuff was at, you know, our last library.
Was this all of it, or is this just some of the stuff they got?
That's all the collectible furniture that we have.
I just want to see what's.
This
somebody
is
sold the straw to
an
them.
Eames table, but it's in such bad shape, you didn't think we could get it.
Hey man, we can resurface this bad boy.
So, the other thing is, we've got, when we replace our furniture, we have other furniture that is not collectible. And Homework Hangout has approached me and has asked if they could have some of that for all.
They can have these.
And I would say, and I would recommend that you guys would consider, again, I don't expect to consider donating whatever they want to them. So again, I put it as an action item, but I really don't expect any kind of final action today. I just wanted to get you guys thinking about it. And Ed has volunteered to be the broker too, to sell the furniture.
Even if we donate to the Decatur Library?
Yeah,
So here's my
nonprofit.
question, if this table can it be refinished?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. This is wood.
Yeah,
This is
I mean, is it worth refinishing it and just keeping it?
It is.
it'd be worth, I
Somebody
can certainly
to
ask
somebody.
Ed.
I mean, keeping it here
Oh,
and then
no,
just getting
ma'am.
furniture, I mean, getting new chairs?
We don't
No,
really want
we,
this.
yeah, no, we don't.
Oh, we
Yeah.
don't want
This
this?
is, we really don't. This, of all the Eames stuff, what
This is-
Turcovia City,
Hey, don't.
That's-
No.
that's the truly cool stuff. The chair back here is
I like that
You
chair.
like that stool, but this is not quite, I mean, we've been sitting at it for years, and
It
it's
just
just
seems like
a
just a
table.
regular table.
Just a table.
I wouldn't spend money to make this look like this.
Yeah, and I'll get, when I get an electronic version, I'll get a copy
So-
of all you guys.
So I'm willing to vote to donate it to the, because I mean, it makes the most sense, right? I mean, it's the most actionable item to donate it to the Decatur Public Library.
I think,
Do we only have one of those stools?
the numbers should be on there. No, we have more than one, and the numbers
Oh,
should be in
seven.
the
I
report.
feel like it's probably gonna take some time as well to
42.
sell.
So is that an auction or is he gonna put a, so that my follow-up is,
They can do it, see, the foundation can do it any way they want.
I
You
would
guys would
recommend.
have to put it on auction.gov,
Yeah.
and ain't nobody gonna get it off auction.gov because you know who goes there? Other government agencies, and they're not in the market for.
My only thing is, I don't wanna pay $500 for this chair, cause he's valuing it at $500.
Well, that's unfortunate for you then, because we need the money.
Yeah, he's actually valuing him at more than that,
How much
depending
did
on color.
what were they doing? The final?
Well, the final for everything is 52,000, but anywhere from 1,000 to 1,200 for the lounge chairs.
So now I certainly can afford.
What do you call it? What's the name of this chair? Go back.
Now, I haven't talked to the foundation either to see if they're okay with this, but I mean, you guys can say, hey, we're going to do that.
I think that's the best plan.
No.
If we can make some money, might as well.
Do you want to discuss how to, keeping some back, or? I know there's some staff and some patrons have expressed to me, well, you can't get rid of all those, those are part of the library's history. And that's you guys' call ultimately.
Like Rick has two of the black ones in his office right now. I think those are very useful right there. They don't get the wear and tear that they would get downstairs on the floor.
Yeah, I like that.
And that's not behind a glass, and it can still be appreciated if he likes those.
Yeah. I'm the wrong person to ask about this because I have no, I might get whatever's chair. I do realize that it does matter to a lot of people. and-
Yeah.
So
I'm
this
kinda
chair
with
looks
you.
different than that chair.
To me,
This chair looks
it's
different.
poor stewardship of the taxpayer money to be sitting on.
Agreed.
Because I looked these up a few years ago and they were selling for like $3,000,
Yeah.
okay? So to me, it's poor stewardship of taxpayer money to be sitting and say, well, we like them. Well, but they're really worth some money.
So wait, so this one was selling for 3,000 and now it's only 500?
I've looked
Some of
them
those
up.
brand new,
I mean,
or is it
No,
collectible?
none of them are brand new, that's the thing, they're from the.
Yeah, it's a 1959 chair.
60s and early 60s.
1959.
so I mean, the
Barry
question
Miller,
is, if we went to
vintage.
some, like, if not we, whoever we don't,
It just sounds
went
like
to
bad
like a
stewardship
bigger
on
auction
people who bought
house,
these chairs.
something that would
Yeah,
get
instead of $3,000,
more money.
pounds. Art Deco, right?
Art Deco.
Same.
Yeah, it's, again, that's, once you donate it, it's kind of up to the foundation, which, are you on that board now?
I think I might be,
Yeah,
but I don't know
I
what's
think
in
you're,
there.
I think you're on that board. It would be up to the foundation board as to how. Ed, as I said, Ed has, for a fee, volunteered to be the broker. So volunteer is probably the wrong word, but he's offered his professional broker services.
Or the drip guy mode there.
I guess like, okay, so like he has him in his office. The staff,
So they can go by and look at the
and
historical content.
patrons have expressed that they want to keep the history of the library. I agree, that's a good place for them because they're getting use without getting wear and tear. But then our staff and patrons still happy, like, do they even know they exist in his
Or
office?
we could put it in local history.
That's
Yes.
true.
I feel like we should save all these little cool, cute stools and put them in local history. I don't know.
Yeah, those are-
And call them what?
I'm totally digging these
A
things.
walkthrough history,
Now, the fact that that's a stool.
stitch in
um,
time or stool in
yeah.
time.
I want one of these.
That's,
I'm not, I don't have that much money.
So I would
Don't
like
you like
to,
this?
I would like
oh,
to
it's for sitting.
make a motion
I think it's
Yes.
to
perfect.
donate the
It's actually
furniture
super
to the
comfortable. You should
Decatur
try it.
donation firm,
You get a public
the
library
Decatur Public
foundation.
Library Foundation.
I
Or
think
just
there
to
should be a
move to the
I think there
full
should
board.
be a stipulation that they have to
Yes.
sell it, ASAP, and.
Yeah, that's what, yeah,
And
yeah.
the
Yes.
money has to
Right.
go towards,
Yes.
so, and we could have our attorney draw something up.
Yes,
on
that I think would be wisest.
Yeah, just make sure that
I
the
love
date
those.
of when they do it is forwarded. I need to get one of these shares.
All right, what I'll do is I'll ask Jordan to draw something up, and then I'll approach Mr. Sorensen to see if the foundation is, you're on the foundation board, to see if the foundation is interested.
Me and Ms. Hinkle can get our chairs. It's 42, so, you know, let's make sure we auction, say 35 of them. That leaves some for historical purposes.
So you guys will recommend to the full board that we donate, and then the second issue is do we want to donate the non-collectible furniture to
Yes.
Homework Hangout?
Yes.
I say yes.
Sorry, one altruistic.
100%.
It works well for us and them.
Right, good PR, make
So
sure
if we,
we announce.
if we get
Put
these
a
things,
dollar amount on, so we can say we donated X amount of
they're going somewhere.
funds.
When we take these off the floor, will we have enough furniture for the time being for patrons to sit in and
We'll have
use?
to, I think so, but we'll have to do it, we'll have to make sure the timing's right. And it may be that they donate the money to us after the fact, that's fine.
I need
Yeah.
office
We've
chairs.
got to,
Now, Brown wants to sit out here.
Really?
Exactly.
No, I'm saying.
Yeah, I was thinking more of those other.
they're basically decorations.
Yeah.
Oh, ADM, they got you
Yeah.
right. Well,
Okay,
ergonomic,
cool.
little desk stations that lift it
I
up.
think that's
stand
good.
up.
Okay.
They got the little step pad, the fatigue pad, you stand up. All right, so are we making this a real thing, the motions, or no? It's all right.
You have to take it.
Okay. So what do you think, Brady? We should forward this to the full board, or?
I think we should bring it to the full board to discuss it, because I feel like everybody should have a.
Well, you have to, you guys can't take the final action.
Yeah.
Okay, but you can either
I make
vote
a
to
motion
recommend it
to-
or vote to table it and we'll do it next month.
I
That's your-
vote
that's your
to
Can we-
recommend this to the full board.
Are we gonna get something from the attorney before? Or does it?
I'd be surprised if he comes up with that, but you could put, if you take final action tomorrow as a full board, you could put some stipulation in there that there would have to be some legal, document drawn up that would say, hey, we're gonna donate to the foundation with the understanding that you will, just it probably wouldn't have to be a contract, it'd probably just be a memorandum of understanding, and, I don't know how quickly you can get that done.
Okay.
So,
Okay, sorry, I'm
like I
ready.
said, I would like to make a motion to push this to the full board.
When you look at this, like, the prices here are more than what he's saying they are.
It's weird too, I don't know. Those look brand new-ish. These are kind of worn.
This one's from the 1960s.
Yeah, but it's in.
Some of them are
it's in
new,
condition,
some of them
so
are
it's
new.
in
condition, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you
But
can't.
she's saying $7 at $700 each. This one is $2,650.
It's condition. So I'm saying,
It doesn't look that much better than this one.
maybe they got some glamour shots on it.
This one says $3,500.
What do you say, we need to sell them for more?
Well, I'm just not sure that the prices are correct.
We recommend we use a different, appraiser?
Well, I just don't know, so would he sell it at auction
That's his recommendation.
here in Decatur, or would it be
I don't know,
national
I can
auction.
ask him, I don't know if he addresses that in here, let me take a look. I think it
And
would
then
have to
we-
be,
like,
I think it would
I
have to
used
be
to work-
national,
I used to
because you're not
work
gonna find enough
I used to
buyers
work for
probably.
Christie's auction house, and, I mean, it was, you know, we had all this great furniture that went through there. I'm not sure this is at the level of.
Okay, so we tabling, what, I don't understand, I mean, I'm trying to push it to full board, I'm seeing like mixed, we tabling for future discussions?
Second.
Okay,
There's a first and second.
for what?
The motion to agree.
Okay, so there we go. All in favor?
I,
We got full board here. All right, so, F, security costs.
So I put this on here because, as I pointed out to you guys earlier, so that security cost per month is twice what it normally is. So,
What changed?
yeah, and I reached out to the budget officer. Now, this isn't an invoice that crosses my desk.
Right.
It's just it's a journal thing that happens with our bookkeepers over at the city. The police officers invoice actually the civic center.
Okay.
Because if it was the city or the library, there would be overtime questions because they're getting paid by the still public body. So they invoice the civic center pays it, and we reimburse. So I reached out to the city budget officer and I said, "What can you shed any light on why this was so expensive this month?" And it turns out that they're not splitting the cost with us anymore.
Oh.
So hear me out. My response was, might have been nice to tell me. And I'll go ahead and tell Sergeant Tertoka to tell his team to no longer patrol the non-library portions of the building.
Absolutely.
Well, that got their attention. And so we're talking, and I don't think they're going to pay half, but I think we can get them to pay at least the percentage of that square footage of the building. He said, and I can send the entire string of, trust me, it was quite a day, string of emails if you're interested, but the indication is we can go back to halvesies next year.
So is that total, the actual total then, the 45,000? Because it looks like that may
That's gonna
turn to 90,000.
oh, no, 4,500 a month. would
Well,
be-
no, I'm saying the total was 45,000 for the year.
That's what we budgeted. We beefed up the budget a little bit in case you guys, and since then, we've had many discussions and decided not to pursue this. But the reason that the budget number is higher is because we were considering adding some hours, which we knew the city wouldn't go halves with us.
Right.
So right now, I'm negotiating with them to try to get them to pay as much as I possibly can.
Well, I'm saying at this rate of what we're paying now, we're gonna exceed the budget by about $70,000.
Yes, correct.
And that's why I'm saying, I mean, I don't, you know,
That is absolutely correct.
Now,
Now,
if they come
now,
back,
he did say his original offer was this. If it exceeds that 45,000, we'll pay whatever it does. I'm like, okay, well, that's. And
How
to
did
me-
you just not tell us?
well,
Because
there's that,
is
and
it like
this
Emily's?
Illinois statute, and I sent him the statutes, says that you guys control the library budget, not anybody at the city. They can't, it's one, look, it was a handshake deal, this cut, and I can quibble about communication, and I can say, okay, fine, you should have, I think the right thing to do would have been tell me at least, if you're intending to do that, but I can't, we didn't have anything right, so if you're not gonna pay for half, you're not gonna pay for half. But why should our levy pay to patrol and provide security to non-library and organizations? Why should the library levy pay for security for Project Read and Everside Clinic and everything that's over on that side of the wall? I mean, I think it's, I mean, my initial, so if this was a handshake agreement between Mr. Wright and I, City Manager Wright and I, from late '22, and my argument to him was, and he agreed with it, that one, this is your property, this stops vandalism of your property, hopefully it cuts down on vandalism of your property, and it's, it adds protection to your property and all your other tenants who don't pay any rent, unlike us. So he agreed that 50-50 was fair. And nobody ever said this is in perpetuity, and we didn't get anything in writing, but Mr. Wright has never weighed in on this. To me, I'm talking to the city budget officer, and maybe I should talk to Mr. Wright.
So what I would like to, I guess, propose is, before we do anything else, we write a contract, terms of agreement for the security, and, it just gets signed, and, it can be approved by the finance and moved to the full board, because this is, it's almost,
Well, that's scary law.
it's unacceptable. It's just not, that's not how you do business. I wouldn't think that you would do business like that as a city, let alone as a leasee as a leaseor to a leasee, right? That's not.
I don't think it would scare City Manager Wright enough, who retires in a couple months, because he's often said we should have at least an intergovernmental agreement between the two.
Right.
He understands that we're two separate units of government. We're two different public bodies. There's a city, but sometimes the finance department thinks we're a department. We're not a department. We're not a department of the city. I don't answer to anybody at the city of Decatur. I answer to you guys. But that doesn't mean it's not tricky, and it doesn't mean it can't be delicate. I wish City Manager Wright and I would have pursued that memorandum of understanding or intergovernmental agreement between two bodies earlier. That encompassed a lot more than this. There's a lot of things that should go into that. But
I'm kind of with you, like, I think even if it's revisited on a yearly basis, that way they have the opportunity to back out and change it if they want it. And then we could put that in our budget accordingly and decide as a board what we want to do. But I do think that it would probably be better to get something in writing.
let me talk to Jordan about drawing something up that we can put in front of him.
So what was the action on here? What was this action to do? Was the action?
Well, the action was at the time when I sent this out, we hadn't come to an agreement at all, or they weren't budging.
Right.
And I was saying, well, I'm sorry, there's no way that my board is going to approve spending library money to provide security to, but now they're willing to negotiate. So
I think the action should just be negotiate with the city and back and with the lawyer.
Okay. What I'll do.
Agreement.
So what I can do is, and I do have an offer on the table that I just haven't had time to review. What I can do is review that and then maybe send it to Jordan to write up in the form of an intergovernmental agreement,
Yeah.
and then bring it to you guys.
So I would just like to make a motion to table this until those agreements are made. Really, we got time to do it.
Yep. Sounds good.
Second. All right, well, since it's an action, Carl? Is this one of those?
We don't have to, because
All
we're
right.
tabling it.
Okay, so everybody say, you second?
Yeah, you can just do it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion approved, motion carried. Carl, first. So, are there any other business to
No.
discuss? All
I
right.
make a motion to adjourn.
Second. All right, I guess that concludes the meeting. I'm not